A very good afternoon to you, my students. This is Ajit Kumar Roy from Advanced Spoken English Institute. I'm really sorry that I could not start the class this morning because it was a very busy day for me. So now I've got time for you to give you an interesting class today. This is the first day of the month and today is Saturday, so I hope all of you have a very nice day and nice weekend. So we'll start with a very interesting English class. Normally Saturday I tell my students to talk more and practice more. We do the practical training more on the weekends. And now that you have already learned the basic requirement of effective oral communication, you have learned the basic sentence structure, and you also know how to tell about yourself, tell about your family. You also know how to talk about vacation and also talk about your movie. So I hope you are practicing in your house. And now I am here with a very interesting exercise that is on the communication skill. Communication skill means how you can interact with your friends, family members, formal, informal way, and you are able to express yourself, right? Normally what happens, you speak in English, but your sentence structure is also okay, but your sound is not clear, your pronunciation is not up to the mark, you are not pronouncing the word in the right way. So there you face the problem. What happens, people don't understand you, although you speak English correctly, but you think why this person from America is not understanding me, why the person from UK they are not understanding you. Why? Because the thing is that your accent and their accent is not matching. If you can't talk in their accent, you don't have to, but you can talk in a proper way, in a correct universal tone. So the universal language is most important for your training. You should talk in a neutral way. Universal language means your language should be in a neutral. You should talk in a neutral way. Don't carry any kind of accent of UK, US or Australia. Just try to focus in a language that is understandable and it's clear. So that is the lesson today. I'm going to start with the lesson that is the basic requirement for effective oral communication. So you might be thinking why the word oral is used. Oral is used because it's about speaking. Whatever we speak, that is called oral, right? So speaking depends on clarity, right? Communication skills depend on clarity. If your structure is okay, but your voice is not clear and you're not understandable, then people will not understand you and they will not be able to communicate to you in a better way, right? So this will be a kind of a barrier for your communication. So that is the reason we are here with a very interesting lesson that is called basic requirement for effective oral communication. First of all, I'll start with the introduction. See, pronunciation is the way in which a word or a language is spoken. Now, this may refer to generally agreed upon the sequences of sounds used in speaking or a given word or language, or simply the way a particular individual speaks a word or a language, right? So a word can be spoken in different ways by various individuals or groups depending on many factors. It can be like duration of the culture exposure, your childhood, okay, the location of your current residence where you are staying, speech and voice disorders. If you have any kind of disorder like you have a stammering problem, then also you will be uncomprehendable. And their ethnic group, their social ideas or their education, right? So if you are from English medium school, you see from the childhood time, from the lower classes, you have been talking English, you have been interacting with English speaking people, automatically your structure, your sound structure will be good. Your pronunciation will be good. But if you are in the culture where the people are talking Hindi, Bengali, regional languages, because India is a country where lots of languages are spoken, so you have the accent of those languages, right? So what is your target over here? To write, to speak in a correct way, right? Speaking is the main thing. The right sound, pronunciation is the main thing. Although you understand that there are many languages in India, right? So you have the accent. So what is your job now? What do you have to do now? You just have to focus on the right way of speaking by taking this lesson. Nobody will tell you this is the right way. So that is the reason we have designed this course for you, to understand what is the right way to learn and speak English correctly. So first of all, you should know voice modulation, how to modulate your voice, right? Now I'll tell you what is modulating your voice. It's regulating your voice so that to make it sound more interesting. It carries the emotion. It is supposed to be one of the key elements of oral communication. It is divided into two basic parts. They are intonation and syllable stress. They are probably the most important aspect of oral communication. So I'm sure you might have heard of voice modulation, but not in detail. So you have to understand voice modulation is putting stress on the right word. If you follow this, your 50% of problem is solved, right? What happens, what I see with my experience of around 16, 17 years in this field, the students don't try to speak clearly. They don't have the kind of right intonation. They speak in a very low voice. They eat up the words. They start with a good sentence in the beginning, then in the ending, they don't speak clearly. Right? So we focus on this so that you understand the voice modulation part. So after the grammar training, we focus on this training so that hand in hand your improvement happens. Right? So voice modulation is putting stress, and there are two aspects. One is intonation. What is intonation? Intonation is laying stress on the word or few words so to make it sound more interesting. For example, if I say a sentence, Paula will wear the black dress to the party, you can say in a very normal say, Paula will wear the black dress to the party, or you can say by intonation, Paula will wear the black dress to the party. So what I have done, I have intonated the correct words in this sentence, right? Paula is a word which is very important, the person name, and black is the color, that is also very important, so I have intonated the word. So first, the basic requirement of oral communication is, number one is voice modulation, which has two parts, that is intonation and syllable stress. So when I say a sentence, Paula will wear a black dress to the party. So what is intonated over here? Paula is intonated over here and black is intonated over here. Why? Because they are the most important part of the sentence, which should be audible, which should be clear. But however, if you want to talk about syllable stress, then in a word where you put stress, each word are broken into sound packets, and those sound packets are termed as syllables. So for example, if a sentence is for example, the word party, in one sentence I will read you the sentence for proper pronunciation of a word, we must lay stress on the correct syllable. So the same word comes over here. If I choose one word over here, this word is chosen. So party comes over here. So we have to say party. Par should be intonated. This part is called stress. You have to put stress this part, and you have to say party. So you have to say like this, party. You cannot say party. The last part should not be intonated. So if you are intonating any word, putting stress on a word, that means it is a syllable stress. And if in a sentence, if you are putting raising your voice or intonating it, saying it in a higher pitch, that is called intonation, right? So there are two parts. If you, I'll say in a very clear and simple manner to make you understand, in a sentence, if you make a sentence, in a full sentence, if you highlight or if you stress, if you pitch on one word, that word is the intonation, okay? But in any sentence, in any word, if you put stress on one part of the word, that is called syllable stress. Clear? Right. Now the next one is fillers. Fillers are another barrier for your communication. It makes you sounding very dull and boring. Right? Fillers are the words These are non-value words. Example, well, basically, actually. So many people, they are used to using these words unnecessarily. It's not required in a sentence, but they're using it, and your charm of the sentence, your phrase, your communication is going away. So there are non-value added words which are very often used in our day-to-day communication. Words like actually, basically, well. So these words just reflect that you are not confident. You are not confident in what you are saying. And if used in a plenty, spoil the charm of good communication, right? So when you speak these words, if you use these words too often, your charm, the beauty of your communication will go away. Because it's not required. If I say a sentence that I stay in Kolkata, I don't have to say basically I stay in Kolkata. I am from Delhi. Basically I am from Delhi. No. So basically is unnecessarily used. Sometimes it's okay, but not every time. It's not required to use every time. So that's the fillers. Now the third one is mother tongue influence. Is MTI. So if you have MTI, mother tongue influence, then also your there will be a communication gap. Alright. India is a country where lots of languages are being spoken. People often carry their regional influence while speaking English. Okay, this really sounds funny and sometimes embarrassing also. It is best if you speak English in a neutral accent, devoid any regional touch. For example, people add extra E to certain words like scooter, they say e-scooter. School, they say school. Z and Z, they mix, right? Then Vijay, they will say Bijay, V and B, because in India people pronounce the V sound of Vijay as B sound as Bijay, right? So these are the Indian way of speaking, the mother tongue influence. As you know that your mother tongue is Hindi or your mother tongue is Bengali, then often you will have these kind of problems while speaking. So after taking the training, we will work on your pronunciation. We will try to change those words pattern and give you the best sound structure, right? By removing the MTI from your communication. Next is pace. Pace should be moderate. I will not detail this point because it's a very simple thing to understand that your pace should be in a moderate pace. You should not speak very fast that you sound uncomprehendable, or you speak very slow that will sound boring. So you have to maintain a pace. For that you need to listen to English speaking people, like you can watch English movies, English news channels, and interact with good English speakers, and you understand with what pace they are maintaining. If you don't have any physical disability, or if you don't have any speaking problem like disability, then definitely you can maintain your pace. What happens? You are thinking taking too long to think. That is the reason your pace is decreasing. Once you learn the English language and once you interact with English speaking people regularly, you'll get a stock of words. Then your sentence structure will improve. Then automatically your fluency will. Fluency means talking in a very moderate way. Not very fast, not very slow, right? So you have to maintain a pace. Next, the last one, but not the least, is tone. Tone is the outcome. So whatever things that we have discussed over here, number one, we have discussed the voice modulation, which has two aspects: intonation and syllable stress. Intonation, putting pitching the right word in a sentence to get the importance, and syllable stress, putting right stress on the particular word in a sentence. Fillers are non-value added words that you have to remove from your English language, like basically, actually. Mother tongue influence also you have to eliminate. You should not have any kind of regional touch. Pace should be moderate. You have to maintain moderate pace, and tone is the outcome. If you follow these instruction for properly in your English language, automatically your tone will be good. So if you follow these things, number one, voice modulation, number two, fillers, mother tongue, pace, tone, then you can speak English correctly, smoothly, and the people will understand you easily, right? One thing I am making it very easy for you, fillers are the things that you have to remove, MTI that you have to remove, pace you have to apply, intonation you have to apply, and tone you automatically get, right? So two things are the negative part of your communication skill, that whenever you talk you make this mistake. That is the reason people are unable to understand you. So this is about the basic requirement of effective oral communication. I'm sure you have liked this training and you will take benefit from it. The simple exercise for you is that you have to interact with English speaking people. Try to register for our classes, right? And come and take the class in our institute so that we can give you a proper practical training so that you can improve. This is just a theoretical part of the basic requirement of effective oral communication. But you should take a regular class and try to correct the words in a class by practicing with your batch members. So this is all about today's class. I hope you liked this class. If you liked it, please like and share and subscribe to our channel if you have not yet subscribed. And definitely you can leave us a comment for giving you feedback. You send us your feedback. What are the changes should be there? And if you are having any question, you can type in the questions over there. Hope to see you again. Thank you. Have a good day.